I'd like to talk to you now about a brand new Buick, the 1985 Somerset Regal. In fact, the Somerset Regal is a brand new kind of Buick. I call it a world-class Buick. And after you see it, you will too. My name is Mary Denham. I'm an actress and was very happy to work on a recent film about the Somerset Regal, which you may have seen. Before that, I was in the Regal commercial, the one that ended, "Whoever's in charge of Buick, well, she must really be something." I suppose that a salesperson trying to qualify me would want to know that my husband and I earn a good income, that we both work hard for what we get, and that we know what we want in our house, in the things we do, in the way we live, and in the cars we drive. Well, what I want is a car with a lot of fine features, but one that's been designed for my personal use. I use my car to go to work, on weekends, and to drive to the city. And look, not all actresses are rich, so I don't mind a bit if the car doesn't cost a bundle. In other words, what I want is a car that complements my lifestyle. The Somerset Regal does exactly that. I know it does because I've driven it. But I'm not the only one who knows it. You see, Buick did some research on a group of cars, including the Skyhawk, Skylark, Century, rear-wheel drive Regal, and the new Somerset Regal. The results rated the Somerset Regal hands down the most personally expressive car of the group. That's why the Somerset Regal really is a new kind of car for Buick. But it's also different from any other domestic car, even the Oldsmobile and Pontiac versions. Who are your best prospects for the Somerset Regal? They include younger people like me who look for distinctive styling, current owners of domestic compacts and subcompacts who want to move up to a Buick, women. The Somerset Regal is one of the most researched cars Buick has ever sold, and the results emphasize the strong appeal it has to women. But I want to say this too. I liked the Somerset Regal when I saw it and heard what it's all about. But I loved the Somerset Regal once I drove it. So if you want to sell the Somerset Regal, please, you must give your prospect a demonstration drive. One final note. Every feature you're about to see is standard, unless we tell you otherwise. Now I'd like to take on a new kind of role for me. And I'm so delighted with the Somerset Regal that I'm thrilled to have this chance to become a Buick salesperson and show you how I'd go about demonstrating the features of a Somerset Regal. This is the Somerset Regal Limited Coupe. It's one of the most sophisticated new front-wheel drive cars Buick has ever sold. Just look at the sleek aerodynamic shape, the sloping wedge-shaped front, and the high rear deck with the spoiler shape at the edge. Notice how the rear window is flush mounted, as is the windshield, which makes for an even sleeker shape, less wind resistance and wind noise. Do you know that the Somerset Regal is 9 inches longer than the Skyhawk, but that it's also 2 inches lower? Just on looks alone, the Somerset Regal is a knockout. Of course, the limited model also has some traditional Buick features. For example, these chrome bumpers with this bright molding around the grille. The bumper rub strips. Tungsten halogen headlamps are standard in keeping with a high level of standard features. I can't wait to give you a look under the hood. I've already released the inside lock. And notice how easily the hood rises. That's because of this hood gas assist rod. Just look at this engine compartment. It's gorgeous. No wonder they give you this underhood courtesy light. They want to make sure you see everything. These cast aluminum rocker covers match the intake manifold. Notice how neat it all looks. That's because all electrical and vacuum lines are carefully routed to create a high-tech look. If you're like me, there's a lot of maintenance you like to do yourself. Notice how clearly all the owner maintenance items are identified and how accessible they are. The engine oil dipstick, transmission oil. Right here is the air cleaner. The standard engine on the Somerset Regal is an improved version of the electronic fuel-injected 2.5-liter L4 engine with increased torque and horsepower. The standard transmission is a 5-speed manual. The optional engine is this brand new version of the 3-liter V6 with multi-port fuel injection, which comes only with an automatic 3-speed transmission. It's the first of the smaller V6s to use the Bosch fuel rail and injectors fed by a high-pressure pump and a mass airflow sensor. Take another look in there. Do you notice there's something missing? There's no distributor. Instead, the Somerset has computer-controlled coil ignition. No distributor means no distributor to adjust. Rack and pinion power steering is standard, of course. So is the acoustic package, which helps give the Somerset Regal one of its outstanding characteristics. An incredibly quiet ride you absolutely must experience to believe. Very important in a luxurious personal car. Let's look at some more of the car. Standard tires are steel-belted, radial-ply black walls. We put optional white walls on this Limited. Power front disc brakes are standard, with special low-drag calipers and audible wear sensor. That's the little feature that makes a chirping sound when the brake pads need replacement. The front suspension is the very proven smooth-riding McPherson strut, while the rear suspension is semi-independent with a trailing crank arm. I want to be sure you notice a number of design details that make the Somerset Regal so good-looking and also help keep it that way. Bright roof drip moldings, thin black door frames, belt reveal moldings, wheel opening moldings, wide rocker panel moldings, and color-keyed body side moldings. But Buick goes even further to help keep the Somerset Regal looking good. First, tough protective plastisol is sprayed in this lower body area before the paint and molding go on. Then, clear coat enamel is applied over the entire exterior paint to give the car this wonderful depth of color and to help prevent wear of the finish. On our way to the back of the car, notice this fuel fill door. It releases from the driver's seat, and it's also standard on the Somerset Regal. Just look at this elegant rear end. In my business, people have been known to build careers on less. The trunk is very generous, with more than 13 cubic feet of space. Of course, there's a courtesy light back here to help at night. This lightweight spare tire fits snugly out of the way, unless you should ever need to replace one of the regular tires temporarily. I'll bet you can't wait to look inside. But before we do, I'd like to point out these black patch side view mirrors, one on each side, and the driver's side is remote control. Standard, of course. Now I'm going to give you a look at one of the handsomest interiors you've ever seen. Here's where Buick has really gone world class, as far as I'm concerned. You can put what you're about to see up against any fine car built anywhere in the world. 5-passenger seating in total luxury and comfort. Let's begin in the back. The center armrest is standard, as are the rear seat headrests. The rear seat has its own heating and ventilation duct there in the back of the full operating console, where a rear seat ashtray is also located. Access to the rear seat is made simple by the easy entry features on the passenger side. Let me show you. See? Great. Now let me show you some of the distinctive interior features. Perhaps the most obvious is the instrument panel, or instrument pod as the designers call it. All the controls you need most are within fingertip reach. Lighting controls are on the left, while the windshield, wiper washer, and optional rear defogger controls are on the right. These switches are new low travel switches, which seem to respond instantly to a very light touch. The turn signal, high-low beam selector, and the optional cruise control work from this smartly slimmed-down multifunction lever. Now you ask, where are the gauges? You're looking at them. There. The Somerset Regal is Buick's first car with a standard electronic instrument panel. The speedometer is digital. The fuel gauge expands. Watch. Now you can tell exactly how much fuel you have left below a quarter of a tank. To the right of the speedometer is this multi-gauge with voltmeter, oil pressure, engine temperature, and tachometer. Tell me that isn't distinctive. But there are other advantages to this electronic instrument panel besides being unique. Electronics are designed to last a long, long time. There's nothing mechanical to wear out or adjust. The other controls are located here in the console. This radio head at the top of the console controls a remote, electronically tuned AM radio that's standard. There's a full line of other fine Delco radios available too, which were designed especially for the Somerset Regal. Below the radio head are the heating and ventilating controls, optional air conditioning, and the optional cassette player. Next is the shifter. Then the controls for the optional power windows, mirrors, and last, the parking brake. Courtesy lights? Of course. In the upper quarter, on the roof a reading light, and on the doors. More conveniences include the visor vanity mirror on the right-hand visor, and this map strap on the driver's visor. When you think about owning a car like this, you should give serious thought to the optional equipment, which can make the car even more personal to you. Some of the possibilities for the Somerset Regal are really impressive. Vista vent sunroof, power seats, GM Delco Bose sound system, automatic electronic door locks, and many others. But look, there's plenty of time to go over the list in detail later. The first thing to do is to take this remarkably luxurious personal car for a demo drive. If you don't, you'll never know what you're missing. Come on, let's go. Those are some of the things your prospects will need to know if you're going to get them to take the demonstration drive that could clinch the sale for you. But there's much more you need to know about the car, under the skin. Actually, the Somerset Regal is so special, you should know about this car from the ground up. The Somerset Regal starts with the engine is mounted transversely. Both Somerset Regal engines have strong stories. This is the standard 2.5-liter electronic fuel injection 4-cylinder engine. It produces greater torque than the earlier version, which is found in the Skylark. The front cover and accessory drives are different, and the height makes possible the aerodynamic wedge shape of the front of the car. Now compare this 2.5-liter with this optional 3-liter MFI engine. It weighs only 45 pounds more than the L4 and is lighter than the 1982 3-liter V6. It's also 2 inches lower and 5 inches narrower. It took this kind of engineering miracle to get a V6 into a car as compact as the Somerset Regal. The new 3-liter MFI engine also has a new gerotor oil pump with a higher flow rate and pressure, especially at idle. Just the thing for stop-and-go traffic. All engine accessories are driven by this single, wide serpentine belt with automatic spring tensioning. The belt is designed for long life. Next come the McPherson struts, the main front-end suspension. The front springs are more properly called peeled, warm-set, corrosion-protected springs. They have a smooth finish, which helps eliminate places where corrosion can occur. Plus, they're painted for extra protection. Next, the steering assembly. Power rack and pinion is standard. The rear suspension assembly is a semi-independent design with a trailing crank arm, which allows the axle to twist when either wheel goes over a bump. Add wheels and tires. The sleek body is next. Fenders are next. The front fenders are attached with a new assembly line technique. The fender and mounting block are drilled simultaneously, which provides custom fit for each car. Front and rear bumpers. The fine grille is next. Next come the seats. The rear seat has room for 3. The doors are next. The hinges are bolted on for easy serviceability. Now the deck lid. and the sloping hood complete the Somerset Regal. A brand new world-class Buick, ready to help you take a big bite out of one of the fastest growing segments of the new car market. The young, affluent, upscale buyers looking for the best in personal transportation.